Natasha was in many ways a fearless young woman, a hard worker who got onto one of the top physics courses in the country. And it was at university that her parents believed she would thrive.
We quite often used to talk about her, and we'd also talk about our children and the problems, and then we'd just say, what about your daughter? Oh, she's fine, there's never any problem with her. And that's very much how I've always saw it. Yeah.
She was very determined, very reliable, quite a robust individual, I thought.
But in her second year, the normally quiet student became even more distant. Conversations with her parents increasingly rare. Yet it wasn't until a phone call from her housemate they realised the true extent Natasha was struggling.
I still can't describe it. Out of the blue, some chap you've heard of but never spoken to phones up one evening and tells you your daughter's tried to kill herself. What do you do? What do you say?
This was the first time they heard she was taking antidepressants and experiencing severe anxiety. No longer the daughter they once knew, but someone in need of help. But just weeks later, she took her own life. Can you describe that moment when you first found out that Natasha had taken her own life?
The thing that goes through your head is why? Why Natasha? Why our daughter? Why is she dead? It's so difficult to grasp.
You can't believe it's true. You know, there was a sense that we knew it was. Certainly for me, I knew it was true. But at the same time, you just can't believe it, and blank, really.
1 year after Natasha was found dead at her flat on Park Street, her parents say they're determined some good comes from this tragedy, and her legacy becomes one of lasting change.
In our view, it was avoidable, and it was avoidable at numerous different places if only things had been done properly. So it's not one person or one mistake or one failing or whatever. It's numerous across the board, and one or two or three of them, if they'd have only worked properly, she'd still be with us.
Well, Max, clearly Natasha's parents believe she was seriously let down. What have mental health services and the university had to say?
We, as Natasha's parents, believe she would still be alive if she had received the proper help. The Avon and Wiltshire Mental Health Partnership say they have overhauled their current systems and are actually working with Margaret and Robert to continue to improve their services. The University of Bristol, meanwhile, are continuing to invest and spend a lot of money on their mental health support services.
It's personally very disappointing, and I think the care that our clinicians gave, people tried really hard. I think some of the processes and systems that we've had in place have not supported those clinicians to do that job as well as they want to, and we've made a real commitment to make a change and make that different.
We all feel incredibly sad that someone has lost their life in such a tragic way. I think in terms of what we tried to do for Natasha, we feel that we provided her with the care that she needed at the time. We had a member of staff who went and took her to the GP from her home because she was worried about her. We offered her adjustments to her exams to try and reduce her anxiety, and our student services also referred her immediately to the specialist mental health team.
Natasha's parents are now considering whether to take legal action against the University of Bristol. But whatever happens, it is clear that Natasha's legacy will be one of real change, especially against the Mental Health Trust, which so badly let her down.